Hello YouTube guys and welcome again to another video of this your channel Tech Tutorials by Henry. Today I will be showing you how you can download and install VirtualBox. VirtualBox is a really good tool that allows you to install virtual machines on your computer if you want to play with virtual PCs, virtual servers. That is a really good tool. So this is the download link. I'm gonna put this link on the description with this video for your reference. And the first thing that we're gonna do, we're going to the download link right here. And here you're gonna see the different platforms that VirtualBox has for Windows host, OS X, Linux, Solaris, different platforms. So we're gonna choose Windows host. It's gonna start downloading it. It's gonna take a few seconds. VirtualBox is a really good tool if you want to practice programming, developing images, connecting servers, connecting PCs, practicing in different ways. VirtualBox is a really good option. So this is the installation window. We're gonna click on next. We're gonna leave all these options like that. I'm gonna click on next. We're gonna leave all these options checked, and this warning tells you that probably the internet connection, the network connection is gonna be interrupted. In the meantime, the VirtualBox is being installed on your computer. So we're gonna click on yes. I'm gonna click on install, and the process is gonna take a few seconds to be completed. It is almost done. Just a few more seconds. And then it is already installed. So this is the option that asks you if you want to start the VirtualBox right away. We're going to leave it checked. I'm gonna click on finish. Right here, you see that the computer created the VirtualBox icon on your desktop. So let's go there. This is the main page, the dashboard basically of VirtualBox. And now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you how to create a virtual machine, basically a virtual PC. To do that, we have to go here to this icon. It says new, and you are gonna see here that you have to specify the name that you want to assign to that virtual machine. I'm gonna assign the name as Windows 10 PC. This is the location that the virtual machine is gonna be. The type of operating system is Microsoft Windows. If you go to the drop down, you can see the different platforms here: Linux, Solaris, IBM, Mac OS, and other platforms. So we're gonna leave it like that with Microsoft. And with the version, we're gonna choose Windows 10 64-bit. If you go to the drop down, you're gonna see the different operating system: Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows Server 2012, Windows 10 32-bit, and we're gonna leave it as Windows 10 64-bit. If for some reason you cannot see the 64-bit options, that means that your virtualization feature is not enabled in your BIOS. So you have to go to the BIOS and go to the advanced settings and look for the virtualization option, and you have to enable that option to be allowed to see the 64-bit options here on this drop down. So now we're going to click on next. This is the screen for the memory size. So the recommended memory size is 2048 megabytes. In my case, I like I like to set it as 3096. It's a little bit more size. Uh, you can leave it in 2048 if you want. So in my case, I set it as 3096. So I'm gonna click on next. Here, we're gonna create a hard disk, a virtual hard disk. So we're gonna leave this option checked like this. So if you don't want to add a hard disk, you can choose this option, or if you want to use an existing virtual hard disk, you can go here and you can browse that virtual hard disk. But in this case, we don't have any virtual hard disk created, and we're gonna leave this option like this: create a virtual hard disk now. We're gonna click on create, and now it is asking us about the hard disk file type. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna choose the VDI, which means VirtualBox disk image, because we are going to install an ISO on that virtual PC. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to click on next. Storage on physical hard disk, we're going to leave it like this, dynamically allocated. We're not going to use this option that it says fixed size. We're going to leave it as dynamically. I'm going to click on next. And here we're going to set the file location and size. So this is basically the size of the hard disk that we just created two steps ago. So in my case, I leave it as 50 gigabytes. It depends on what you want to do with your PC or your server. If you need more space, you can change this information. For example, you can set it as 125 gigabytes or whatever. You can change it. But in my case, I leave it as 50 gigabytes. To me, that is enough. So we go here to create the hard disk, and our virtual PC is already created. And here, the next step that we have to do to the settings. Here you can see the name that we just set, the operating system and Windows 10. So this option you can change this option at any time. You have the drop down available. You can change the option at any time. We're going to move to the advanced option, and here you're going to see these two options: share clipboard and drag and drop. We are going to change this from disable to bi-directional. Same thing here. We're going to move to description. We're not going to type anything here. And for this encryption, we're not going to touch it because we are not encrypting the hard disk at this time. So if you want to encrypt it, you can follow the steps and you can encrypt your hard drive. So we're going to move now to the system. Here you can see the memory size that we just created, 3096. This is the available boot options for the computer: hard disk, optical, and floppy disk. Here, so you can move the option. Oh, the option is not available. I'm sorry. So this option, we're going to leave it like that. We're moving to display. For the display, the recommended display is 128 megabytes, and it is recommended to enable and check this option that says enable 3D acceleration. So we're going to check it. The video memory still being 128 megabytes. We're not going to do anything with the remote display or recording. And now we're moving to the storage tab. So with this option, this is the option that allows us to install the operating system on the computer. So to do that, we are going to this option here that it says empty. You can see like a CD-ROM here, and we're going to choose this, the CD-ROM, and here you can see that I have a Windows 10 ISO already. It is on my desktop. It is showing here because I already downloaded VirtualBox before, so I just remove the software to show you how to install it and create your virtual PC. But the Windows 10 ISO was already recognized by VirtualBox before. So in this case, we're gonna choose Windows 10 ISO. It is set, and the next option. So you have the option here for audio, network, serial ports, USB, share folders, and interface. So we're not gonna touch uh, we're not gonna touch them. We're gonna stop here at storage. So here we're gonna click OK, and we are done. So at this time, our virtual PC is created and it's ready to start. So to do that, we're gonna here to the star icon, and what you're gonna see the Windows 10 ISO, the installation media running on the computer. At this time, it is gonna ask us if we want to confirm that we want to run the Windows 10 ISO. We're gonna click on Start. It's gonna take a few seconds. So we can see that the installation media, the ISO is already running. It takes some time depending on the performance of your computer. My computer is pretty fast, but it depends on the computer that you have. So you have a better processor, if you have a better RAM, a better hard disk, so your virtual machines will run better if you have a better hardware on your computer. So this time you can see that the installation media is running well. So we're gonna leave all information like this. We're gonna type on next. We're gonna type on install now, and this process is gonna start the Windows 10 installation on the PC. It's gonna take a few seconds. This is a really easy process. It takes a little bit of time, but it's a really easy process. So after this, you're gonna have your PC, your virtual PC already set. So in this case, if you have a Windows 10 product key, you can type it here. Uh, it doesn't work all the time. It depends. If your product key doesn't work, you can go here and you can choose this option. I don't have a product key, and now it's gonna ask you for about which operating system you want to install on your PC. To me, I'm good installing Windows 10 Home Edition, so I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna click on next. We're going to accept the license terms, and we are going to choose this option, custom install Windows only. And here you can see that the hard disk that we just created is showing here 50 gigabytes. Sorry, and everything is good. Everything is running well, and we're gonna click here on next to start the installation of the operating system. All right, it already started. And after this, the system is gonna show you the first steps, the first set of steps. So you have to assign a name to the computer. You have to set security questions, connect the computer probably to your network, and after all of that, the basic setup configuration, you're gonna have your PC ready to do whatever you want with your virtual PC. So that is all. That's all for today, guys. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and see you on the next video.